fix your hair.
Which one? Which side? Now. Man, that's not where I wanted to go with this.
Sweaty?
Yeah, dude, my armpits are sweaty as hell. Like it's. All right, I'm just gonna keep this just keep recording it. I'm just gonna cut into it. But honestly, man, I feel stuck. Like this kind of sucks. I mean, it's been a few days trying to create, trying to make ads, trying to make stuff work, and it's not going anywhere. And that's frustrating. It's frustrating because like we do all this work to appeal to a client or a company, and there's times where these just bouts of delay of whether or not they choose to like it, or maybe they don't like it, or do I even like it? And there's this constant battle of creative juice is not flowing, and there's these moments of self-doubt, like am I doing the right thing? Am I really who I am because I'm creating? Like, is it just because I pick up a camera and that imposter syndrome sets in and you're just having all these thoughts of, am I doing the right thing? Am I doing what I am supposed to do to make that next step forward? And the whole thing of being able to create more content has to just come from that emotional appeal, in my opinion, to whatever story you're trying to push out there. I mean, even yesterday, like we were editing the video that we've already shot and trying to get that emotional connection back to that video, and I couldn't find it. I couldn't find that emotional drive to be like, this is the story I want to tell. I'm compelled to tell this emotion, and this is what I want to say to people, and I hope it affects someone. But thinking back on it, it's this whole thing about creating has been just to get that clout, to get that recognition, to say, wow, that's really dope stuff, that's really a dope video, that's really cool cinematic stuff, like you're a great photographer, great videographer. And then you look back at your Instagram and social media and you're like, no one looked at it. And then it's that step in the process again where you're just like, is good, but why don't people recognize that? Why don't people recognize me for what I created? Something so cool and something I'm so proud of, and something that, you know, I built with someone else, and you know, it's a team project and we just put so many hours and thought and emotion into it, and it just fell flat. And now we feel flat, or I feel flat. I feel flat because I didn't reach that expectation of what I placed in front of myself to, you know, pop off and become famous or whatever it may be, a YouTuber. And as I look in more videos, it makes me more sad about what I haven't been able to accomplish, because of the fact that like I see all these people growing, I see all these people excelling, and they're creating awesome content too, and it's like I should be there. But that's in itself is a very dangerous comment, because I'm not there yet. I am not at that point, and there is no should, there is just do. And that should factor is an expectation of something that's not quite achieved yet and hasn't even been attained remotely yet. So for myself, and I think the reason why I fell so flat was because I had this expectation of where I think I am without having any source of tangible way of actually saying I am. And that's a little bit of a confusing statement, but it's more so saying, if I want to be like Peter McKinnon or Danny Gervais, for example, who's, you know, rising in the YouTube game, and you tell yourself, I should be there. I should be at that point in my career already. I'm making great content, I'm putting a lot of work, I deserve to be there. And that sense of entitlement and ego is what creates this whole dark hole of self-doubt, imposter syndrome, and, you know, lack of creativity at some point. And maybe you do have the technical skills, or I have the technical skills, but there's something missing there. And the biggest thing I feel is that I stopped creating for myself in terms of the passion of the craft. I stopped progressing myself and expressing myself for the sake of expressing other people and impressing other people. It became more of an extrinsic value versus an intrinsic value for myself. The purpose of this whole thing was because a long time ago, I had another friend, like a really good friend. And, you know, I wanted to bring this up for a while for videos and stuff like that. And I wanted to tell his story of how he impacted my creative process. But I never got around to it because I felt like I wasn't ready. I felt like I couldn't tell the story right. I felt like I couldn't convey what I wanted to convey because I didn't have the technical ability yet with the story built in my head. And so I worked to get myself to that one point of the video to where I can create this and be like, this is a dope story that I've accumulated through my own hard work, blood, sweat, and tears, whatever you call it. And I got there to where I felt like I was ready, but I never made it because I didn't think it was gonna pop off. And I didn't make this video, this story that I felt was so important to tell for myself just because I wanted to appeal to a client, to the business, to being a freelancer, to getting my career ahead. Right now, I feel like I'm going through that same process again and taking that step back. But why do I talk about it? Why do I vent it out? And why do I tell you why I feel like this way? I say it because I think this is a process for a lot of creators and a lot of people. And as selfish as it may be, I am talking to you, but I'm also talking to myself through the mirror. Because I think that in order for me to realize what I'm really doing to myself and to my friends and my peers and my coworkers and, you know, the other people involved with our business, is that I feel like I'm creating for myself again for the love of the game. And I've always preached that. I've always said, if you don't do what you love, you'll never be successful because you'll never have enough drive and enough energy to get to that point of mastery and go through all that hardship and go through all the suffering and free work. No one would do that unless they're, for one, crazy or too passionate about what they do, or even both, crazy and passionate about what they do, in order to get to that point of success. Doing all this stuff with client work, yeah, it's great. I love to work with companies still, but I have to go back to the roots of creating for myself, because that's what I did. I created the stories I wanted to tell because those are the stories that mattered to me the most, because I felt like it was going to change something. It was going to change how I thought, how the perspectives of the people that viewed it thought. You know, even vlogging, for example, like vlogging is rough for me because I feel like the imposter syndrome again. I feel like my ideas aren't good enough to express outside of my own brain, mind, whatever, because it's already been said. Like, there's another YouTuber that's gonna probably say it by tomorrow or something like that, but that's wrong. I need to be appealing to what I want to say because I just want to say it, and you know, if people like it, that's cool, but that's a secondary secondary gratification. It's for those that attach to it and, you know, they build off of it and they're inspired by it. The hardest part about creating is, for me, is that barrier of making sure you don't take 3 steps back and only 2 steps forward. It's more, you know, you take 2 steps forward, maybe 1 step back, maybe 1.5, but at least you're making progress. You're always going up the slope. It's never gonna be a straight line, but at least you're making progress. And so, this is probably gonna be a really shitty vlog. It's my first vlog, technically. And that's okay, because the next one will be better. The next story will be more of what I wanna say. And as my first one, I will say that it's my first step out of the hole. Hopefully I won't be stuck after this, so. I gotta say bye. Oh yeah, I gotta say bye to the viewers, huh? But I wanna say thank you. I wanna say thank you for hearing me out. I wanna say thank you for tuning in, because for me, this is not easy. It's not easy for a lot of people, I don't think. I hope maybe next time we'll see each other again, and peace.